श्री स्वामीनारायण भगवान जय, अक्षर पुरुषोत्तम महाराज जय, गुणातीतानंद स्वामी महाराज जय, भगत जी महाराज जय, शास्त्री जी महाराज जय, योगी जी महाराज जय, प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज जय, महंत स्वामी महाराज जय. Food is a basic necessity. Beyond a means for survival, food also has great cultural importance in every society. Science has influenced food culture by allowing us to look at food increasingly less in the context of basic survival and increasingly more in the context of convenience, improved health, pleasure, and joy. Food is no less culturally significant in our sampradaya. Maharaj himself lovingly served the Paramhanso and Bhakto of his time hundreds of times. He also encouraged them to perform fasts to earn Rajipo. And most importantly, he spoke profusely on the need to overcome attachment to food so that it doesn't hinder our spiritual progress. In this series, Brahmana Sanghe, we have examined the daily life of Mahant Swami Maharaj. We have seen how, despite having accepted a human anatomy and physiology that closely resembles our own, Swamishi's life represents a transcendent existence, one that is completely free of Mayic ignorance. In today's Sabha, we will recall anecdotes from Swamishi's life regarding his partaking of food. We will see how, while doing something so innately human, Swamishi is so uniquely divine. In the process, we may also find personally relevant inspirations that allow us to progress spiritually without hindrance from our relationship with food. Let's begin with Swamishi's inclination for devout prarthana prior to eating. In Satsang Diksha Shlok 83, Swami says, Ucharya prarthanam bhaktya tata prasaditam jamet. After devoutly reciting prayers, eat the prasadi meal. At some point in our satsang lives, we may have taken a niyam to sing Srimad Sadgurn prior to our meals. Many of us may even be doing this quite regularly today, and we should, because Swamishi takes this customary act of devotion very seriously. June 2018, Swamishi was in Limri. Swamishi sat down to eat. The santo sitting in front of him began to sing shloks as is custom at the beginning of Swamishi's meals. During this time, a Brahmin brought Swamishi a special food item that he had made for him. Swamishi asked his name and his native village. And by the time he had heard the man's entire introduction, the santo seated in front of him finished singing both shloks. Now, without saying a word to anyone, Swamishi proceeded to close his eyes, and he sang both shloks just by himself, while everyone else looked on. In 2018, while Swamishi was in Australia, one sant would often begin the singing, setting the pitch and tempo at which the shlok would be sung by everyone else. Swami felt that he was rushing, and so Swami asked him one day, "Why are you rushing? Shastriji Maharaj has written such a beautiful shlok describing Maharaj. What is the need for rushing through it? You did this yesterday as well. Why do you sing so fast?" The sant was a little bit afraid. He said humbly, "Swami, I thought I would help you save some time." Swami said, "In the whole day, you saved what? 3-4 minutes? For what?" And so it's not just that we should remember Maharaj and Swami prior to our meal, but that we should do so while singing the shlok in a manner that honors the shlok and the tradition. Let's learn from Swamishi how it should be done.
Srimad Sadgunasalinam Chidachidi Vyaptam Chadivya Jive Sakshara Mukta Koti Sukhadam Naikavatara Glayam Se Purushottamam Munivarai Vedadiketyam Vibham तन्मूलाक्षरयुक्तमेव सहजानन्दं च वन्दे सदा ॐ सहनौ भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 Maharaj Swami Yogi Appa નો વિચાર યોગી આપા જે રીતે જમવા બેસતા એ બધું યાદ કરો.
Remembering the pragat form of Bhagwan as we have experienced. This drastically reduces any karmic consequences that are otherwise natural to an activity like eating. This is not a difficult habit to cultivate, but it can have many, many benefits. Benefits such as self-awareness that can lead to greater levels of self-control. Swami Shri has shown incredible levels of self-control with his eating habits. In fact, Swami Shri he's never had a time where he ate a little too much because the food was made so well. Never. We know this because Swami has actually answered this question when Santo asked him. Swami Shri's self-control has manifested in many different ways. On May 14th, 2018, Swami Shri was in transit from Bangalore to Chennai, and he was having breakfast. Shiji Prakash Swami said, "Swami, yesterday you chewed on one piece of paneer 282 times." Even Swami Shri was surprised and amused as he noted, "I only had half a piece." And the Santo all at once exclaimed, "And still." Swami Shri laughed and said, "Don't count anymore, otherwise you'll all lose patience." June 25th, 2019, in Ahmedabad, after lunch, Swami Shri went to the restroom. Vinay Priya Swami asked, "Swami, did you taste some sand or dirt in the broccoli?" And it turns out that while Swami was eating, Vinay Priya Swami could hear a faint, abrasive sound that was coming from Swami while he was chewing. He had taken the remaining shock out of Swami Shri's pattar and put it to the side. He was asking now to confirm the doubt that he had earlier. And Swami Shri said, "I felt it between my teeth in almost every bite." And Vinay Priya Swami was deeply hurt by this fact. And he said, "Swami, why didn't you say something? I would have removed it right from the beginning." And Swami Shri remained silent as if to say, what need is there to say something or say anything in that moment? June 27th, 2017, in Atlanta, the Santo were discussing how Swami Shri begins his breakfast by eating mamra. So Swami Shri explained this in a little more detail. He said, "When I was young, I used to enjoy eating pattarvelya. In fact, I could eat some 40-odd pieces in one sitting. And once, while I was a parshad, I went to Nadiyat, and pattarvelya were being served. And as a person who was serving approached me with the pattarvelya, Yogi Bapa stopped him. He told him to not give me any pattarvelya because I didn't like them. He told the server that I liked mamra, and so that they should serve me mamra instead. And so from then, I enjoy eating mamra. I used to like pattarvelya, but I don't eat them." And this is an iconic prasanga of Mahant Swami Maharaj's Guru Bhakti. Not only did Swami Shri not try to correct Yogi Baba in that moment, but Swami Shri completely gave up eating an item of food he enjoyed for almost 60 years on a passing comment by his Guru. One that could have easily been interpreted or conveniently interpreted as a simple error. This prasang is worthy of a lifetime of manan and nididhyas. Divya bhav, nirdosh buddhi, agna, ruchi, anuvritti, sadhana, sararta, dhrad priti, all stemming from a moment of mindful faith in his Guru's words. Mahant Swami Maharaj has cultivated a lifetime of moments like this in all aspects of life, turning worldly objects and actions into means of progressing his sadhana. Let's look further into how Swami Shri has made food and the act of eating a sort of practice ground for advanced level spirituality. In 2017, while Swami Shri was in Ahmedabad, in an effort to encourage him to eat more, Pujya Vivek Sagar Swami said, Yogi Bapa said he liked suki bhaji and puran puri. Swami, what do you like to eat? And Mahant Swami Maharaj replied, I've never thought about that. Vivek Sagar Swami continued, that doesn't have to be thought about. You should just know. And so Swami Shri replied, I don't consult my tongue. I only consult my stomach when I eat. Once in London, after Swami Shri had lunch, the Santos surrounded Swami and asked Swami Shri what he enjoyed eating. The Santo asked over and over, but they couldn't get an answer from Swami Shri. And so then the Santo rephrased their question. They said, Swami, of course you don't care for taste, but from when you were a young child, there must have been something that you enjoyed eating. And so Swami Shri realized the love with which the Santo were asking. And so after a significant amount of time, he thought about it, and just to satisfy them, he said, Bhakri. Swami Shri cares so little to think or talk about what tastes good. To get a better idea of this, let's take a look at Swami Shri answering a question very recently about what he liked to eat when he was young.
બપોરે દાળ ભાત રોટલી શાક સવારે જે આગલા દિવસનું હોય રાતનું એ સવારે દૂધ અને તાજું દૂધ ભેંસનું દૂધ ભેંસ જ હોય અને રોટલી 4-5 રોટલી હોય દવાઈ જેવું ને દૂધ ઉપર પી લઉં રાત્રે તો જે હોય કોઈ ખીચડી નહીં કોઈ દી પણ બીજું બધું હોય મોટે ભાગે રોટલી ને શાક શાક એ લીનવા હોય વીણીનું.
Although we know from his family members that Swami Shri used to eat rotli when he was young in a special way by putting ghee and sugar on it, he didn't talk about it until he was specifically prompted. Let's hear Prasang of Swami telling us about that.
એ તો જાતે જ કરતો કોઈ બનાવી આપે એક રોટલી લઉં અને એના ઉપર ઘી પર અને ઘી ખાંડવાળું અને એના પર બીજું અને જમું.
Swami has always known the difference between what tastes good and bad. By choice, he trivializes taste. While Swami Shri was in Dar es Salaam in 2019, after Sabha, he was resting in his room when a Sevak Sant asked, Swami, don't you ever feel like eating something tasty? The Swami Shri calmly replied, Petrol nakhiye chhe. I'm just putting in fuel. Pujya Priyavrat Swami has once said that at least since 1985, when he got Diksha, Swami Shri has been eating pretty much the same bland and boiled food. And what's amazing is that despite setting such a high personal standard, there is no personal bitterness that comes from this. Swami Shri lovingly serves Santo and Hari Bhakta all the time. Once Swami Shri was in Titha, and Swami would give prasadi to all the Santo in the form of sweets. And Pujya Gnanpriya Swami asked Mahant Swami Maharaj, Swami, you feed us with food like this, and yet you eat the blandest food. Don't you ever wish to eat what we all eat? Swami Shri said very plainly, I never desire to eat what others eat. nor do I ever feel any jealousy towards them for eating what they are eating. Once in Mumbai, Mahant Swami Maharaj wanted to give Pujya Anand Priya Swami some ladus. This was a long time ago in his pattar. And Anand Priya Swami began to say, "No, please, Swami." And Mahant Swami Maharaj threatened him, "I'm giving you ladus, and you should eat them. Otherwise, you will be forced to eat these boiled parvar." And so Anand Priya Swami succumbed. He said, "Swami, no, please, go ahead, give me the ladus. That's much better than those boiled parvar." Mahant Swami Maharaj's prasadi is a type of prasadi that everyone wants to eat because of the mahima, but never because of the taste. While Swami Shri was in Rajkot in 2019, an older sadhu from Yogi Baba's time once commented that Swami hasn't eaten anything in 40 years, meaning he's eaten so plainly and he's eaten so little. He said Yogi Baba used to serve Mahant Swami Maharaj and Pramukh Swami Maharaj by putting 3 or 4 ladus in their pattar. But after Yogi Baba passed, neither has eaten like that. Yogi Baba was the same way, always serving others, but never himself wanting to eat. He arrived in the dining room to have lunch as usual. And as usual, he yawned slightly prior to eating. The Santo commented, "Swami, you seem exhausted from the mulakat session." And Swami Shri replied, "What exhaustion? I'm exhausted from having to eat." Swami Shri wasn't tired of meeting people even after 1044 Hari Bhakto had come through. But he was tired from having to sit down and have his meal. December 31st, 2017, Swami was in Himmatnagar. He arrived in his room to have dinner. And the shlok finished, and Swami Shri said, "Khawani matha kurche." And then he began to eat a little bit. In January 7th, 2018, Swami was in Surat, and while eating dinner, he said to his sevak sant, "I'm not even hungry, but all these santo are sitting here just to make them happy." The Satpurush wants to make us happy. His engagement with worldly objects, on a whole, is for our benefit. This is so apparent when we study Swami Shri's eating habits. So what does Swami Shri really like? Swami Shri likes Gunagrahan. September 22nd, 2016, Sarangpur, after his breakfast, every day, Swami Shri would get an introduction to a few of the new sadhus in the training center in the form of their Gunagrahan, or positive characteristics, being told to Swami Baba. And after today's session, the Santo asked Swami, "Swami, do you enjoy these Sant introductions?" And Swami made a gesture with his hands to express his enjoyment. He said, "Khoob maja aave chhe." And then he said, hearing these introductions is so enjoyable that the act of eating feels like a complete bother. December 20th, 2017, in Surendranagar, after his breakfast, Swami Shri asked for his real nourishment, Gunagrahan. A Sevak Sant explained, "Swami, we've completed the Gunagrahan session for all of the Santo in this mandir. There's nobody left." And so then Swami Shri stood up, but as he was walking, he expressed disappointment. And he said, "Aaj fast padyo. I had to fast today." And so the Sevak Sant said, "Swami, we won't make you have to do an upvas. We'll take care of it." And so they called a few sadhaks that had come. 2 sadhaks had come, and they were standing nearby, and they had performed a special vrat. And they were able to break their fast with prasad from Swami Shri. And so during that time, the Santo told Swami Shri about their good qualities, made Swami happy. August 8th, 2019, Swami Shri was in Gandhinagar. After lunch, Swami Shri was speaking to the nearby Santo and Hari Bhakto, and he said, very seriously, "Gungan gava, ema khati jau, biju baddu nakamu che. Seek satisfaction only from praising Hari Bhakto. Everything else is useless." And then Swami went on to say, praise, 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 over and over. Continue praising. Even if it doesn't fit in your mind, continue praising. It is the most comfortable means. When we don't feel comfortable praising, we think we want to be just and fair. But that is our envy. That is our ego that is getting in the way. It ruins everything. If there was no jealousy and no arrogance, there would be no question remaining. Maharaj, Swami, Santo, Bhakto, sing all of their praises. If one does that, one will be fulfilled in every sense. This was Swami's updesh to all the Santan Haribhakta. George Bernard Shaw, a famous playwright of the 20th century, once claimed, "There is no sincerer love than the love of food." Clearly, he never had the opportunity to meet the Satpurush. Perhaps if he had, he would see that there is no more sincere love than the Satpurush's love for Bhagwan and Bhagwana Bhakta. Through Swami Shri's Samagam, may we conquer jealousy and arrogance, become less cynical of Hari Bhakto, and rather be generous in singing the Mahima and praise of our fellow Hari Bhakta. May we rather be suspicious of pleasures from worldly objects. May we direct our cynicism towards food and taste, especially when it leads to lapses in our niyams, forgetting Swami Shri or Kusam. May we enjoy our moments with food the way Swami Shri does, a way that nourishes our love for Maharaj and Swami, honors our dharma, and fosters samp in our families and satsang. Jai Swaminarayan.
Thank you for joining us today and listening with such devotion. Bhagavan Swaminarayan has taught us the power of listening to Katha. It purifies our mind and brings us closer to God. So if this Katha helped you, give it a like, subscribe for more, and share it with someone you care about. Until next time, Jai Swaminarayan.